This is the decision of the Fifth Circuit, and it may be appealed to the Supreme Court. From my point of view, there are things we can learn and questions we should ask about our medical institutions. As James Madison noted for the National Gazette on March 27, 1792, he has an equal property in the free use of his faculties and free choice of the objects on which to employ them. That means that physicians have a property in their certifications that they've earned. When those certifications, and by extension their ability to practice their profession, are threatened for any reason other than their medical actions, those doctors have been deprived both of their liberty and property without due process of law, which violates the Fifth Amendment, which states, "No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law." When private organizations punish doctors for what they say, it is not a violation of the First Amendment. It is a violation of the Due Process Clause. And if the AAPS is correct and these medical associations colluded with the Department of Justice, then the DOJ has violated the First Amendment's free speech and free press clauses. This is the conundrum. Do we want government bureaucrats to regulate the qualifications of doctors, or do we want other doctors to do so? As Judge Ho said, doctors are just as susceptible to peer pressure and careerism as anyone. So where does that leave us? I think the best solution is to treat medical certifications as the property they were designed to be. If a doctor can pass the exam, they not only hold the certification, but it is their property. Like any other property, it should only be taken away when it's used unjustly. In other words, not because of what a physician says or writes, but for violations of the standards in the exams that led to the certification. I think both the association and members of its various boards should be held liable for the unjust abuses of their certification powers. After all, if you cannot sue the entity that has taken your property unjustly, how can you seek a redress of your grievance? I also think since the power to regulate medical care is not delegated to the United States, any department or agency thereof should be prohibited from influencing their standards by criminal statute. It is not enough to simply say a department or agency cannot influence board standards, but there must be punishment for those who do. I cannot think of another way to constitutionally protect both the medical profession and the professionals that practice it. If we want to avoid future politicization of medical boards, then they must be held accountable for their actions. If the board can justify their actions to rescind someone's certification based on their actions, they are fulfilling their role in protecting us from unqualified doctors. If they cannot defend their actions, they are not qualified to question the fitness of doctors to practice.